Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hi,
Okay, hi, everyone. Good morning. We're super, super excited. Thank you very much for joining in and for being a part of this wonderful, fantastic day. So the teams that we have here with us, they have worked super, super hard over the last 5 weeks. We started our journey with them on the 26th of September. This is the first ever AI/ML Reactor program in Pakistan. So based on artificial intelligence and machine learning and helping startups in Pakistan. And really, we were super, super lucky because we ended up with the creme de la creme. Right? We ended up with some of the most fantastic brains over here in this room and in general also throughout the entire process. We did do a demo day in the middle on the 14th of October by the time we hit week 3, out of which 17 teams participated in that one, and in the end we selected the top 10 to proceed to the final demo day. Just in terms of statistics a little bit, I think we were blown away by the amount of interest that this program received. We ended up with 250 plus applications. And we went through it was a very difficult choice to pick the top 25. Some of the teams couldn't continue for various reasons. I think it was a very, very rigorous program. And like the life of a startup, it's usually, we're startups tend to be busier because they're doing so many different things. So with us today, we've got, actually before I introduce the judges, I would like to talk about the team that has been behind it all. So with us, we had Cecilia, who's the head of startups marketing at AWS, Kai Yong, who's the startup business development. He looks after that function at AWS. Tom, who's the startup territory manager from ASEAN AWS. From Epiphany side, there was me. I'm the founder and CEO of Epiphany, and Mahnoor is our senior program officer. Obviously, a lot more people contributed, and the list is a lot. There are more than 24 people who helped us at different stages as business mentors, as tech mentors, as internal judges. And finally, today, for the external judge, for this external demo day, we have 5 fantastic speakers, experts, tech people, business from a business background, etc. So first, we've got Atif Awan. He's the founder and managing partner of Indus Valley Capital, which is a Pakistan-focused early-stage VC fund. Atif, as many of you would know already, has led investments in Atoms, in Airlift, in Bazaar, in AimFit. And he's also board director for all of them. He's also a member of First Round Capital's Angel Track and OnDeck's Angel Fellowship. Welcome, Atif. Thank you so much for making time. Next, we've got Abdul Manan, who's the founding member and COO at Baikia, which, as many of you already know and probably have used the service as well if you're living in Pakistan. It's a leading platform for transport, delivery, and payment services in Pakistan. Prior to Baikia, Abdul Manan was working for Rocket Internet's Daraz.pk for 4 years, which was later acquired by China's Alibaba Group in 2018. And before that, he's worked quite a bit on different technology solutions of various tech startups in Europe and US. Next, we've got Priya Lakshmi, who's the head of startup in ASEAN, startup sales in the ASEAN region at Amazon Web Services. She joined the India team in 2015 to set up and build the inside sales function, and then later on built the territory and SMB business segments for India. She moved to Singapore in 2020 to build a new segment focusing on early stage startups across the ASEAN region. And before that, she was previously with Dell India, and where she held 5 positions over a span of 12 years. Then we've got Michael Smith, who's the head of startups SAs, again for the ASEAN region, startup solutions architecture team, that is, and he works with startups across the Asia Pacific region on business strategies and technical architectures. Welcome, Michael, Priya, Abdul Manan. And last but not the least, we've got Pedro. Pedro is principal ML specialist architect for AWS covering Southeast Asia region. He's worked in the private and public sector with customers across Asia, Europe, and the Americas to implement various data lead solutions. Previously, Pedro was a data scientist working for IBM's Watson Health and Advanced Analytics divisions. So we are looking forward to hearing pitches and seeing demos from the top 10 teams of the AI/ML Reactor program. And everybody has 8 minutes. They have fought with us over the 8 minutes. Initially, there were 7 minutes. So now they're 8 minutes, and then they'll be followed by a 5-minute Q&A. So teams, like last time, we will mute you. Remember Mahnoor, she's very draconian, okay? She likes to mute everybody the minute the 8 minutes are up. So just keep an eye out on the watch. I know that you guys have rehearsed it already. Best of luck. We're all rooting for you. And for the judges, 5 minutes. So what we're going to do in the chat function, we'll alert you when it's 30 seconds left. All right. So Mahnoor, are you ready? And is our first team ready as well? Okay. For the rest of the audience, please feel free. Please feel free to send your support. You can show reactions, right? The reactions are enabled. Go ahead, show the clapping sign, whatever, show your support. Also, if you have any messages that you'd like to drop the team, feel free to communicate in the chat function, right? So yeah. All right. So our first team, are you ready? Finja?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Ready.
Okay, very good. Let us be ready with the timer as well. Mahnoor is ready with the timer.
Can I share my screen at the moment?
Yes, you should be able to.
Can you please confirm if it's visible?
It says loading, and now it is visible.
Perfect.
Okay.
Please let me know when to proceed.
Okay. Yep. 3, 2, 1, you're on.
So hi everyone, this is Rubab from Finja. I'm leading the data team there. I have with me Ali Akbar and Aksa. We are the data team. And the use case that we selected to implement in AI/ML Reactor is credit evaluation using machine learning. So if we look at the credit industry or lending industry of Pakistan, we'll see that although 90% of the adults have connected smartphones, but unfortunately, we have not been able to efficiently utilize the technology to further ease the access to credit, as it's evident from the numbers that we have less than 3.6% SMEs that have access to formal credit from the banks. And I'm not really proud to say it, but as an employed individual, I don't really have a credit card. Because the process is really hard and painful. I don't want to go through it. So 3 years back, what Finja decided to do is to take the charge and revolutionize the digital lending landscape in Pakistan using nothing but the data. And it's not just the sentiment, it's the numbers that speak as well, because Finja has dispersed more than 60,000 digital loans of worth rupees 3 billion rupees. And, this is just the starting point, and you might be looking at the next unicorn of Pakistan. We are also backed by the major VCs internationally and a local bank as well, further increasing our confidence in our solution. So how we are able to do this is because we have multiple licenses from multiple regulatory entities of Pakistan. State Bank of Pakistan, that is letting us to raise the deposits, and SECP, that is letting us to lend to individuals as well as to businesses. So after we raised our last funding round, we have been aggressively scaling, and to put it in stats, we raised our last funding round in November last year, and till date, we have achieved 30% month-on-month growth, mainly lending toward the small retail shops of Pakistan. So while we are aggressively scaling, it's also very important that we have faced some business challenges, so we address them in parallel. So our unit economics can grow in healthy direction. So number one challenge that we face is time per profile evaluation. Most of our profiles are evaluated in less than 2 to 3 minutes, but in some cases when the profile is complex, it takes up to 24 to 48 hours. We don't really want that. As we are scaling, we have a lot of customers asking for loans. At the same time, the cost per onboarding is also increasing as we have some manual functions there. And when we are making the credit decision, there are some delays in portfolio management, which we really want to reduce at this point as we scale. So what we are proposing at the moment is a process, a standardized process that will cater to all these three challenges. The concept really is to implement an automated lending decision maker, starting from data consolidation process, where we are aggregating all the data that is being used for decision making. Then we have actually implemented our credit engine using AWS ML Stack, which is responsible for taking decisions around credit and predicting the user behavior, whether that user will pay back on time or not. And then finally, we make the decision and the real-time feedback gets incorporated in the credit engine as well, so that our machine gets smarter with time as we issue more loans. So the unique value prop for this solution is actually very interesting because this is the first time in Pakistan where cutting edge technology like machine learning is being used.
Rubab, you're on mute. Can you unmute yourself?
Is actually being used to impact the bottom of the pyramid, and especially the small retail shops, and giving them experience of being paperless, frictionless in real time. As we all know that machine learning can't be functional without data. So we are very proud that we have integrated with different data partners and source different kind of data set, which is eventually being used by our machine learning algorithms. So I'll hand over the screen to Ali. He will walk you through the rest of the slides and MVP. And we're very glad to say that we have completed what we proposed in the beginning of the program.
Thanks for that, Rubab. So moving swiftly on towards the MVP of the product, what we have finally done and what we have finally been able to do is we have successfully integrated the ML endpoint with our front-end app that is currently in a testing phase. And as I move along the process is pretty simple. The user selects the distributor, writes down what credit amount he or she is willing to take, and thereby the invoice number, sales warehouse location, shop code, and the entirety of this process involves them giving important information about their own business. And these data points are fed in real time to the endpoint that we have exposed to this front-end app, and on that basis, they are given a response in real time as opposed to the previously faced problem to our particular product. And moving swiftly on towards the backend demo. For the backend, what we have specifically done is we have a data point that we feed to this API endpoint. And in real time, we get the label as either is it something, if the prediction label is not eligible for a loan, it shows us this. And if the prediction label is eligible for a loan, it shows us that they are eligible for a loan. And at the same level, what kind of evaluation metrics we are using in order to understand and better go throughout this model. We have an accuracy of 82%. We have a recall score of 50%, and we have a specificity of 85%. And as you can see, our confusion matrix, we have a pretty good score in terms of true positives and true negatives. And in terms of the false negatives and false positives, we also have been reaching a steady stage in the succeeding stages. I'm extremely sorry, I just missed my presentation link. Rubab, can you share that link again, please?
Let me please share it. Can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes.
One minute left.
So as we have shown the impact of the solution, can you move towards the impact of the solution, Rubab? So generally what the impact of the solution is going to present on our productive lending side is that we are going to scale really parabolically in terms of 2022. And since we are going to hit the break even, swiftly moving on, we will be moving on. Can you please move to the next slide? We will be covering 50% retail shops of Pakistan. Our success metrics will involve delinquency rate, probability of default, probability of payback, churn rate, specificity, and our entire portfolio management will be ML driven. And at the same level, we're also impacting customer experience in real time. And in terms of team capability, we have titans of finance and tech industry present with us with names like Kasif Shahid, Monis Rahman, Umar Munawar, and Rubab. And we're really, really happy to have implemented this ML solution in its entirety on AWS stack. And we're really looking forward to becoming the next unicorn in Pakistan.
Your time up, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, judges. So Pedro, should we start with you?
Yeah, thank you guys. Very interesting and impactful solution you guys have brought up here. I have one question. I know for credit lending solutions, there's typically a question around being able to explain the loan decision. Have you guys addressed this? And is this going to be an issue at some point? So, you know, whether you're rejecting or accepting, or whether you're being asked by an auditor why you've made a certain decision around the credit loan. Is that an issue that you foresee, and have you guys thought about tackling that issue?
So basically, historically speaking, our risk team and business teams are very much aligned in a way that how we are making decisions because of the data sources that we have when we look at the financial and non-financial data. But moving towards a purely automated machine learning solution, what we are doing at the moment, we are adjusting the credit limit instead of rejecting the business application as a whole. And this solution is in testing phase. So we will take the business and risk stakeholders with us while we predict and explain the reasoning behind the prediction. But as a company, the willingness to move towards this solution as we scale is high. So it's not really a challenge at the moment for us.
So there's no need for the model to be transparent, I guess. That's my question.
There will be. So
yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Ali, you can go ahead.
Okay. So in order to add on to what Rubab has already mentioned, the model has certain thresholds that are directly run through by the business team first. And on that basis, we certainly have to optimize. We have to find that sweet spot that tweaks our recall score, that tweaks our, because the main risk mainly lies around the recall score, which is the false negatives and the false positives. And at the same level, this is where the chunk of the process actually happens. And since this threshold is ran by the business first, this is an iterative process. And this is something that will be determined on a week-to-week basis, on a month-to-month basis, as soon as it moves to production after this testing phase.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, my question, and maybe I missed it, was just what were you doing to solve this before you turned on using ML? I mean, you were already doing stuff, right? So what was the method for you approving somebody versus what you're proposed you'll do with once you have the ML stuff working?
Okay, so we already had machine learning, but that's more like on the portfolio management side of it. So we currently, like I mentioned before, that we process the loan applications at the moment too in real time. When we have simpler, let's say some geographical locations that we are very confident that we're lending in. So we'll flag based on the location or whatever variables that we have. And for the rest of the cases, it's really about, we are managing the portfolio offline, and then we feed the offline decisions into the our decisions that we take in future. So there is a gap there. The portfolio management is being led by machine learning and algorithms, but in order to incorporate the real-time feedback with the newer data set that we have been collecting in this year, because we have really scaled this year. So we wanted to revisit our approach as a whole to optimize whatever business problems and whatever the new data that we have generated to optimize our model. So that approach was missing beforehand.
Okay, thank you. Michael, does that answer your question? Okay, any other judges who'd like to ask any questions?
I have a quick one. Samar, I think there was a mention of 48 hours to process loans prior to this, right? I did hear of a couple of outcomes, 82% accuracy and a couple of others, but how are we taking this 48 hours processing time down for the customer? What's the customer outcome from this?
So you see, like I mentioned that, there are some applications which are complex, and that really depends, when the profile is being onboarded from what specific, profile variables that we're currently catering to. If we just look at maybe at the moment, we have 5 to 6 variables that are being used to make a decision for that. So, that will take around, that might take 48 hours for some profiles. But when we are using more data with better variables to model a profile, that reduces the time, at least to have a judgment. Otherwise, we are relying on human judgment. When the human judgment is involved, that really takes it to 48 hours. So with this model, we are making a decision in real time and then improving with time as we get the feedback.
And just to add on to what Rubab has mentioned, what we technically do is, in the past, when we received certain applications that were complicated, it was part of the reason why we had to move to a real-time approach based on ML in the first place. So even when now we receive complicated location applications that do require, with the previous model, 48 hours, with our new model, they can work out in real time. So for the first user that I showed in the front-end demo, that user might have taken around 24 hours, 7 minutes. It was something that was undeterministic, but with this model, we have successfully catered to the customer experience, to the real-time monitoring, and at the same level, we have addressed we have successfully made sure that the user retains better this way, and does not become disappointed if their loan application was approved or disapproved 48 hours later.
Okay, thank you very much, Abdul. Thank you very much, Ali. Abdul, final question, but we've run out of time, so super fast. Okay.
Yeah, one question from my side. I mean, you mentioned about reaching 50% retail shops in Pakistan. What is going to be your acquisition strategy for that?
So at the moment, what we do is we partner with different new age as well as old age distributors and FMCGs, because they are deeply embedded in this ecosystem. So we partner with them, they share the data with us, and then we reach out to those retail shops. One acquisition approach is this, and the other is that, with the digital literacy coming in, we advertise heavily on social media and get the retailers from that as well. So mainly it's from the partnerships as well as using the digital media as well.
Okay, thank you very much, judges. Thank you very much. Team Finja, it was a fantastic presentation. And Park Wheels, you can get ready to present your next. We're going to leave a couple of minutes for the judges to finish their scoring, and then we'll start. So well done, Rubab, Ali. It's always difficult to be the first ones.
Hi, Summer. We're here. Should I share my screen? Sorry, I guess you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I was just going to say, go ahead, share your screen. Let's be ready. And the judges are going to finish their scores in the meantime. Okay, and in the meantime, just for the audience, I know that you're very excited and you will have all of these questions for the teams. What I would suggest is please feel free to put in your questions, your comments, etc., in the chat function, and the teams may be able to respond. Okay, Park Wheels, we can see your screen. All right, judges, are we good? Okay, Manan is good. Michael? Okay, Priya?
I'm good.
Okay, Atif?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, and Pedro, you're good too? Okay, awesome. All right, so Park Wheels team, you're ready?
Yes.
Okay, so your time starts now.
Right. So hi, I'm Rahim. I'm from Parkle's team. Our project is on used cars price calculator, which would essentially be giving accurate market value of used cars to buyers and sellers. So Park Wheels is Pakistan's #1 auto classifieds platform. Park Wheels was launched in 2003 as a forum where car enthusiasts could discuss anything related to automobiles. Later, Park Wheels emerged as Pakistan's first auto classified marketplace in 2013 and has helped millions of Pakistanis buy and sell automobiles since then. This kind of success has made Park Wheels a prominent name in the global e-commerce and classified sectors and has helped raise $3.5 million in its first round of funding in 2014. Used car market size in Pakistan is $15 billion per annum, due to which our next milestone would be to become Pakistan's largest car transaction platform to get directly involved in buying and selling of used cars, which is all the rage these days. The following company matrix per, you can see the company matrix per month of Park Wheels. We have 4.5 million users, 16 million sessions, 300 million page views, 100,000 used car listings, and 3.7 million buyer leads. The problem we are solving is that there is no way to find an accurate market value of a used car, which leads to following challenges. In case of sellers have no way to find a suitable selling price for the vehicle other than going through prices of similar listings on classified platforms. Sellers try to set a price higher than the average price of similar listings, which are already overpriced, resulting in highly overpriced listings. Due to this, they get less buyer leads, resulting in low response to sellers and thus reduced number of transactions taking place. In case of buyers, there is no way to find what a used car's value is. They do not tend to contact sellers with overpriced listings, and they can't negotiate properly with sellers without knowing the actual market value of a used car. These challenges result in less number of transactions taking place on our platform. So the solution is used cars price calculator. The workflow is as follows. Whenever a seller marks his listing as sold, we get the sold price from him. We save the sold prices against each ad listing. The following attributes from the ad listing are being used to train the model, which include make, model, version, model year, mileage, engine type, engine capacity, transmission, assembly, body color, and registration city. The machine learning model we're using is XGBoost. It is trained on 3 months of data, retrained every week, and the weights are assigned to data points based on recency to avoid any compensate for any fluctuations in the prices of cars. So the benefit of our used car price calculator would be that buyers and sellers would be able to find accurate market value of used cars. Sellers would set reasonable price while posting an ad, because on the left in the screenshot, you can see that while posting an ad, we will show the seller a recommended price based on the estimate of the price calculator. Sellers would get more buyer leads, and thus the sell-through time would decrease. In case of buyers, they can see if the listing price is reasonable. As you can see on the right screenshot, the prices would be categorized into if the price is fair, great, or overpriced. Buyers would get increased number of quality listings and would save time in finding the right car. The metrics we will be using to measure the success are as follows. Number of sellers who update their listing price after getting the price calculator estimate, increased buyer leads, increased number of used cars sold on Park Wheels, and decreased sell-through time. Our solution stands out as compared to the only other competitor in a way that we are using machine learning model and they are using simple linear regression. Our model gives accurate market value estimate. Their model gives lower than market value estimate due to their business model, which is to C to B to B. They buy from the consumer and sell to the businesses. So our model is having high accuracy, their model has low accuracy. Our model can automatically handle fluctuations in prices, their model cannot handle fluctuation in prices. Our model gives price estimate based on all attributes of a used car. They are not using all the attributes that affect the used car prices. So We have completed our MVP on AWS. We have deployed it on EC2, the model, and we've integrated price calculator on our website, which I'll be showing in the demo. We have integrated price calculator on our cell phone for sellers, and our machine learning model's accuracy is greater than 93%. So this is the demo, in which we're selecting the make model version, the mileage. We've selected the model year first. Color, engine type, engine capacity, transmission, assembly, and registration city. 32.8 lakhs is the estimate. On changing the registration city, the estimate is 33 lakhs. On changing the color to black, the estimates get 32.4 lakhs. Next. So the impact of this solution and the success matrix will be looking at our normalized listing prices on our platform, which resulting in more used car listings and thus more buyer leads, which would increase the response to sellers, and hence more transactions would be taking place. The sell-through time would decrease, and will be seeing an increase in our revenue due to more listings and traffic. The advantage we have is that we're the only classifieds platform with machine learning solution for used car prices. We have access to actual sold prices data, which none of our competitor has. We predict accurate market value of used car, and we have a huge user base. Our team consists of Baris Ali, who is a software engineer, is experienced with AWS deployments and implementing AI/ML solutions. I'm Rahim, I'm product executive. I've identified the use case to improve customer experience. Along with me, Ahmed Hassan is also a product executive who has worked on the use case. And we have the final participant is Muzammil, who is a BI analyst who's been collecting data and performing analysis over prices used cars on Parkleys. Thank you, and we're open to questions.
Thank you very much. You guys saved over a minute. Wow. All right, judges.
So I have a question. I mean, wear and tear in Pakistan at least plays a big role in estimating the car price. How are you going to incorporate? Can you hear me?
Yes, but can you speak a little louder?
Sure. I'm saying basically the wear and tear of the car plays a big role in estimating the price of a car in Pakistan. So
yes.
Is there anything you're doing around that? You know, are you taking any input from the users around that to basically correctly, estimate the price of the car?
Right. So one of our future plan is that since we have a car inspection service as well, and we've inspected over 150,000 cars till date, and we have data of that as well. So we will be using that data to train the model as well, and that would increase the efficiency of the model a lot. So we could have asked the user to directly tell us about the condition of the car, but it's very subjective. So what we've been thinking is that we'll use the data we have of inspected cars, and we can incorporate that into the model. And whenever we'll inspect a car, we'll be able to predict the accurate the market value to more accuracy.
Okay, should we move to Atif?
Great presentation, Rahim. How do you manage sudden fluctuations due to currency exchange changes or due to government changes, taxes? If I understood correctly, you're taking like 3 months data at a time, which works under the normal circumstances. But when there is a sudden change, all the prices move, both new and used. Does that require manual intervention, or have you been able to find an automated way to do it?
Yeah. So what we're doing is that we're assigning weights to data points based on the recency of the data points. So the most recent data points would have the most weight. Thus, the old data points won't be affecting the estimate of the model that much. We hope that this would normalize any fluctuations that we see due to currency devaluation or taxes reduction or stuff like that in a shorter period of time.
Got it. Yeah, I feel it works, that moving window and the recency weights works under the normal circumstances. And that's great, because any slow moving changes, you should pick it up without, skipping a beat. But let's say, we saw 2 months ago, the government changed the taxes, most new cars, the price dropped overnight by, a lakh and a half, and then that cascades to the used one. So you might want to think more about how to incorporate sudden change and have some external intervention, so people don't feel that the data takes like a week to catch up.
So for the overnight changes, if the consumer is also changing the price according to the market value, right? Because if they know that the prices are going to change in the market, our model basically trains on the available data, right? So we will giving the recency, using the recency thing, we will be getting more closer to the accurate value. And when the people are changing the prices according to the recent fluctuations in the prices, let's say they are in the taxes or the dollar price, so we think that those changes would be incorporated, even those are in a very shorter window.
So it won't be real time. It would take a week or two for the prices to get normalized.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions, Michael, Priya? Michael, you have to unmute if you've got a question. No? Okay. Priya, Pedro.
I'm good. No questions.
Okay, Pedro, go ahead. Unmute, please, though.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. How you mentioned that you were able to evaluate that your model was higher accuracy than the competitor or the only other existing solutions model. How were you able to define that?
Right. So we've tested the competitor's model on changing multiple attributes. Their price estimates do not change, which suggests they've either hard-coded the data or they're using simple linear regression that we were earlier using, from which we're moving away because it had very low accuracy. And the accuracy we've calculated is, we find the estimate which the model gives us, and other than that, we find the lower and upper bounds, which we find using statistical analysis. The lower bound is the 10th percentile, the upper bound is the 90th percentile. So we calculate that range and we see if the actual sold price and the one that we predicted is within 10% of that range. So using that, we found out that our accuracy is around 93%, but the competitor's prices does not change on changing body color, registration city, mileage, engine capacity, and a few other attributes. The price they predict is solely based on your make, model, version, model year. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Parkwheels team. Your time is there. It's good. We're good with the questions as well. Judges will start scoring. And the next team, which is Vision RD, could you guys please share your presentation? And well done, Parkwheels team and Finja.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Vision RD, are you guys here? Wonderful, Amar.
Wait a second.
Also, Parkwheels team, there are lots and lots of comments which are coming through in chat. There are some questions as well, some maybe suggestions as well. So please feel free to interact in the chat function.
Is my screen visible?
Your screen is visible, yes. Are the judges ready? Pedro, Atif, everyone?
Yep.
Okay, Abdul? Okay, Priya?
I'm good.
Okay, Michael nodded. Atif, you're ready as well, yes? Okay, very good. So we are ready with our time. So Vision RD, you're ready? Affirmative?
Yes. Should we start?
Okay, yes, you may start.
Hello and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmad Nadeem and with me is Muhammad Ali and we are working on Inspection AI by Vision RD. Vision RD is was founded in January 2021 in Islamabad, Pakistan, and we are working in AI in the manufacturing space. Our mission is to empower automobile and part manufacturers in Pakistan to automate the quality inspection, root cause analysis, and to achieve Six Sigma. The problem we are trying to solve is related to quality inspection in the automotive manufacturing facility. So what happens is that currently from the right image, you can see this is a manufacturing facility in Lahore, Pakistan. They currently inspect each and every part manually. This is a big vendor of Yamaha bikes, Atlas bikes, and they inspect up to 5,000 just one part, just this axle daily. This manual quality inspection is costly, error prone, time consuming, and it is a huge cognitive load for the workers. Also, reaching the root cause of the problem, that why it is happening in the first place, is a big problem. And also 15 to 20% revenue is lost due to quality related issues. We have a solution. Inspection AI is basically a solution that helps uses cameras to take picture of each and every part. It uses artificial intelligence to find if the part is defective, and it discards using a rejection mechanism. And not only that, the last stage analytics help to make data-driven decisions so the defects don't happen. Some of the features are quality control operator dashboard, the executive dashboard for the bird eye view, detailed dashboards help for the root cause analysis. The image gallery, the virtual image gallery has all the images to see that what is happening. And also our models continuously improve. Our target market is mostly automobile manufacturers and automobile part manufacturers. Both have quality related issues. And these are some of the big companies and the new entrants. This is our minimal viable product that we have built and also extensively tested, which takes a product as an input. Basically, we place the product and it real-time processes. In our MVP, basically, the camera takes the picture, the AI processes it, the results are shown on the quality control dashboard inside the manufacturing facility in case of the deployment, and basically the executive dashboards, and the data is also uploaded on S3, so the AI can be continuously improved. Our MVP trials were a success, and we got human level accuracy for our in our testing environment for some of our products. And not only that, we showed it to the industry and they were really excited, and we are in negotiation for the trial deployments. We also use AWS SageMaker training jobs and they were very helpful. We are using S3 buckets for storing the huge amount of data so we can retrain our models and continuously improve them. We are also working on SageMaker Edge Manager and IoT Greengrass to incorporate it. Now moving towards the demo. Basically, this is our quality operator dashboard, which would be deployed inside the manufacturing facility. So what happens is that
not visible. Demo is not visible.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay. So basically what happens is that each product is basically inspected by our camera, and each product basically passes through our camera and it is inspected, and basically on the edge, AI does the inspection and the results are showed here. Basically, the quality operator can see in the manufacturing facility that there are many scratches in the products, and sometimes there are other issues as well, like inner side there is a cut, and they can also see real-time stats that what is happening. Overall 10 products are good, 7 were defective. They can see the overall ratio that more of the products have scratch related issues, so they can understand that what is happening. Not only that, they can see the good and defective ratio as well. And now this is the basically our executive dashboard, if it's visible, right? Executive dashboard is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, so what happens here is that the executives can have an oversight that what is happening, or how much scans took place, what were the defects, and how many pieces were basically broken, what was the trend overall, the defects were increasing or increasing, which assembly line has more defects. There can be multiple inspection line. We can see the overview as well, that we can see the overview as well, and we can basically that which product, we can have multiple parts, axle or oil seal, that which part has more defects. We can see that axle has more defects, and overall 57% of the axles are defective. We can see the gallery as well, that to see the virtual image gallery basically. So the market is around $3 billion for just automotive parts. And this is the market size for the local market, Pakistani market. And around $400 million worth of parts is bought by only Toyota within Pakistan every year. So this shows the size of the market. The Pakistan automotive market is growing rapidly with around 62% growth in 2021. Only in 2020 to 2021, around 2 million parts were produced. 2 million motorbikes and three-wheelers were produced. This shows the market size. There are some of our competitors, Cognex, Lending.ai, Cortex, AWS, and Google are also working in this space. Our solution is mostly white box. We empower the companies to train the AI and take the ownership. And also, due to the hyperlocal product, product is more affordable, and we provide detailed analytics since we are focused in the automotive side, and we provide support in Pakistan. And our pricing is both the hardware. For hardware, we charge initial cost, and for software, it is a SaaS model, and we charge monthly subscription or per part pricing inspection. This is our core team. Basically, I'm handling the business development and artificial intelligence, and my background is also in the artificial intelligence space. And Muhammad Ali is basically handling the application side of the app. And basically, we have other people as well that help in the cloud deployment and other things. The near future plan is that we are working. We are in negotiation for the trial deployment, and we have already discussed with a company. They are interested, and we are just finalizing the contracts to move towards a trial deployment. And after that, we plan to scale this product. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much. You have 20 seconds to spare, Ahmad. Well done. Everybody was so worried about 8 minutes and so on. Okay, judges, over to you guys. Who's got a question? Pedro, go for it.
I have a question. Are you going to offer this just as SaaS, so without the hardware?
No, basically the hardware side, we will also provide the hardware as well as the software. There are two parts. The software portion will be provided as a SaaS. The hardware portion, basically we have talked to some of the companies that will help us in building it. So basically that is our hardware part, and the software part will be built in-house and will offer it as a SaaS model.
I'm just saying this because I know that some manufacturing lines have an existing camera system that they might want to just unload or onboard, for example, just the software.
Yes. So there can be multiple markets. For example, if someone only wants this, the software part, they want to understand the root cause analysis and what is happening, the analytics, then we will provide only the software. Okay. But if there are some company that needs the hardware, we have in contacts with the vendors that will help us in the hardware part.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yes, Atif.
This is really awesome. Can you speak more about how you are measuring accuracy, specifically how you're defining it, and then what's the human benchmark and how are you doing against that?
So currently the accuracy measurement was simple train test split, and we did a train test split and then tested it on the unseen data, and we also got the same part, the unseen part, and tried the same defects, and it was and after some measuring the results, they were at par with human level. So we tested it rigorously a lot of times, and through our analysis, it was on par with the human results. In case of the accuracies at the deployment side, of course, it can vary depending upon data. We have already discussed with the clients that we are working with that as soon as the data keeps coming in, we have created an automatic pipeline that would continuously retrain on the edge cases, and it would keep on improving since the data is huge for this use case. Basically, camera is continuously collecting images.
Is there a specific number, like for the existing data that you've tested on in terms of precision and recall? What are the kind of numbers you're seeing?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you give specific numbers on the accuracy? So whether it's you're measuring in terms of precision and recall on the level set,
okay.
Just trying to get a sense of, are we talking about, like the 90% is 40%? I'm not sure what the human accuracy here is, what's your benchmark is and how you're doing.
Okay, so basically at this point, our benchmark was, since it was a trial project, so our benchmark was basically metric was mean average precision, and it was above 95%. And one of the factor here was which we were comparing was that we were doing it real time. So of course, comparing a person doing at a speed similar to what the machine is doing, can he do that at that level? So we measured basically according to that. And of course, as soon as the human starts inspecting things due to cognitive load, he starts making mistakes also. So it is not like that human does not make mistakes.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, other questions? Abdul Manan, Michael?
Yeah, this is Michael. I have a question. I wasn't really clear, like, what is the minimum kind of deployment? It's cameras plus your equipment plus AWS stuff. It wasn't super clear.
Okay, I'm sorry. Currently the MVP that we have built is a simple box type machine, which has a camera. It is connected to a GPU system. And as soon as we place a part inside it in real time, the results are shown on the LCD screen. So this was a minimum viable product, basically. Each and every product that we place inside the MVP, the results are real time shown on the LCD screen. And basically the data is continuously being uploaded on the cloud. So in future, the AI models can be further retrained and the accuracies can be improved. AI is being deployed on the edge, basically.
And what is the throughput?
It is more than 50 frames per second.
Thanks.
Or you can say 50 parts per second.
Okay, judges, final call. Any more questions? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Okay, Ahmad, very well done. Thank you very much, Vision RD. And the next team, feel free to get ready. Sean from Expert Flow, go ahead, share your screen.
And just give me 1 second.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Just let me know if you can see the screen.
Yep, your screen is visible.
Okay. Should I start?
Just maybe wait for the judges to give us a go ahead.
Okay, sure.
Okay, judges, are we good?
Yep, ready.
Petra's good. Okay, Michael's ready. Abdul, ready? Yes, okay. Atif,
Okay.
Priya. Okay, awesome. All right, so your time start. Are you ready, Sean?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. So your time starts now.
Okay. So every passing hour kills 1250 people, costs $15 million to the payers, and $5,000 in marginal loss to the hospitals. Now, this condition is largely underestimated, but we are here to address this problem. Hey there, my name is Sean. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Expert Flow, joined by my brilliant team. Now, you might be asking what this condition is. But before telling you that, let me tell you a little bit about Expert Flow. We are a medical technology company where we empower clinicians to perform an accelerated and cost-effective prognosis as well as diagnosis with high accuracy using our AI-enabled platform. both on the premise and remotely. And due to our efforts, we were able to secure a pre-seed investment early this year, and we're currently looking to raise more funds. And of course, for us to regulate and commercialize our medical solutions, we have partnered with 2 health consultants in Pakistan and 1 medical device regulatory firm in UK. And right now we have 2 pilot projects with hospitals in pipeline. Now, let me explain what sepsis is. Well, sepsis or septicemia is a condition where immunity drops, immune system backfires, and infections continue to spread. And these infections can include pneumonia, UTI, and even COVID-19. Also, sepsis is very hard to spot, and traditional bedside medical risk scores that doctors use, to identify sepsis are inaccurate and have gone out of calibration for quite a long time, considering that some of them were developed almost 2 decades back and they're still being used. Now, according to the Global Sepsis Alliance, as I stated earlier, because of sepsis, 49 million people are affected each year with a death toll of 11 million. And it also causes 1 million in disabilities. The cost of sepsis care is 62 billion in US alone. And there's also financial implications for the hospitals. This includes an annual marginal loss of up to $36 million per hospital. Now, as you can see, with an annual 3,37,000 sepsis cases and almost 10 billion rupees spent on it, Pakistan is not so different. So the market that we're operating in has a huge potential and is growing at a fast rate. And we're targeting a revenue of $150 million in the next 5 years. So after a bit of research, we have developed Nostro, which we named after the famous Nostro. It is an AI-powered sepsis forecaster that can predict sepsis 6 hours before the onset. And it was trained on a data set of 40,000 patients and 1.5 million data points. It is the newest addition to our Diagnostics Health platform. It can predict in real time and with high accuracy, and that too using biological inputs collected non-invasively, which you can see during the demo. And because of Nostro, hospitals can have an early warning capability, which helps in significantly reducing medical bills for its patients and improves the overall operational efficiency. Now, for this project, we tried something new. Instead of using local services like before and in-house machines, we created the entire model using only the AWS. We use S3 for data storage, SageMaker Data Wrangler for the entire pre-processing pipeline, and the Amazon Autopilot to train the model. The architecture came out very simple. Autopilot generated different models based on the famous XGBoost, based on our choice of metric, which is the area under receiver operator curve as an accuracy metric. Based on that, we selected a model which had a reasonable AUC and validated on a holdout set so that we don't end up with an overfit. Then the endpoint was generated from that model, connected to the API gateway via AWS Lambda, and the API was then connected to the demo diagnostics interface, which we made on the Bubble platform for test purposes. Here is a working demo. I log into the web client and start entering values into the empty fields. I have values of 2 patients from a holdout set to show its generalizability. The first patient has sepsis while the second one does not, and the model identifies them perfectly. The cool thing here is that the model gives you a prediction for sepsis 6 hours ahead of time, which is what traditional sepsis prognosis methods lacked. And the model we trained and finalized has an AUC or accuracy of 97%, which we have increased during the course of this program. Now, it is important to tell you here that in the production environment, the patient bio inputs will be fetched automatically from the hospital's electronic health records using our API, making the entire process quite seamless. Okay, so what makes our solution unique is that it can predict sepsis faster and with high accuracy using only the patient parameters that are collected non-invasively, which are the vital signs. Also, Nostro can look 6 hours into the future with very little data, which is better than the competitors and existing medical practices, which rely on lab reports, and those tend to take a lot of time. Now, our AI ML use case will create a scalable impact since sepsis is a global problem. And with our solution, we will be able to reduce mortality by almost 50%, length of stay by 25%, and healthcare providers' cost by 20%. We also have an unfair advantage due to how low the development cost is because of the AWS cloud services and a lean team. And because of this, we can offer our solution to the hospitals at a lower rate than the competitors. And moreover, our tech is advanced in a way that it only relies on non-invasive inputs, making it 10 times faster than the existing practices. And we will consider our solution a success if we were able to serve 20 hospitals, 5,000 patients, 50,000 patients, and revenue of about $5 million in the next 3 years using this solution. So this is the team that made this project happen. Usman designed the entire project interface and made the connection to the cloud possible. Hasib identified the best tools and AWS services to be used for our use case, and Hamna trained, tuned, and deployed the best model using Amazon SageMaker. Finally, I set up the entire plan and design for the project and resolved any blocks that we faced during these 5 weeks. So Nostro is just one of the disease predictors that we're working on, and we do plan to add more in the future. So let's join hands and revolutionize healthcare and save millions of lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Very well done. All right, and we have exactly 1 minute to spare. So well done. On time as well. Judges.
I mean, nice presentation. Who's your competition?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll just turn this on. Yeah, sorry. Our competition is basically, there are these companies in the US that are working on sepsis. But a lot of these companies are these with a lot of big budgets that rely on lab reports. So the problem with lab reports is that these companies have trained their model on lab reports, but the problem with lab reports is that it's not frequent. Like the earliest you could get is like within 12 hours, right? And the problem with sepsis is that the organs deteriorate really fast when you're in sepsis. So our solution is basically trying to fix that problem, that we can predict the person that is going into a septic shock or sepsis, and save those that time. So basically the competitors rely on more data, which is less frequent, while ours rely on data that can be collected frequently, which is using cardiac monitors or vital signs monitors.
And how did you test your model?
Yeah, so we trained our model on a data set of 40,000 patients, which is open source and available. We tested it on another data set, which is a very famous data set called the Mimic-3, which holds the data of roughly about 60,000 patients. So we validated the data on that. It contains data from, I think, 2002 to 2012, and there are a lot of patients there. So we trained on one and we validated on the other data set.
Okay, Michael, I see you've unmuted.
I'm always off mute because I have a mic, but I do have a question, which is like, how are you, you put a lot of data in there, like costs and things like that. Are you learning that from, because you were already doing this without AWS products? What was how did you come up with that this is a better solution cost wise? I just was curious if you'd already done it without it, or just how are you deducing that?
Okay. Yeah, so basically the cost was, the way we generated that, we showed that cost was because there are a lot of these companies that offer solutions in the US and in these areas which have really good healthcare facilities and are run on insurances. So based on that and based on our findings, like there's a very famous example actually. There is a model on the AWS marketplace. It's not for sepsis, but it is for a similar disease. And the cost for one inference is about $1,000, and you can go check it out as well. So it goes by the name of Perception Health, and they're charging for one inference $1,000, while we are charging roughly, I think, $10 per inference, and we do 24 inferences. So that is how we are able to get that cost. And also because we are here in like Pakistan, we have really low development costs, so we are able to offer the solution at a cheaper rate.
Got it. Thanks.
Yes, Pedro.
Yeah, I have a question. So it seems like you guys are, as an input to the model, you're providing point in time data. I would think that these types of problems require time series data.
Yeah.
So first of all, how does that work? How does the model actually work? Is it consuming time series data, or are you guys transforming time series data to point in time data and then using that for the model?
Yeah, we're transforming, basically, you got it right. We're transforming the time series data to a point in time data. That's what we're doing right now, because for this, the program, we basically wanted to test the capabilities of the AutoML, and it doesn't really support time series data. So we structured the time series data such that it becomes more of a supervised learning problem, right? So the labels for the sepsis label had been shifted by 6 hours. So when you predict it, you get an inference of the next 6 hours, and we validated this on the holdout set as well. So it does work.
And your commercial model is you're saying is for one inference. Would it make sense to be continuously monitoring and requesting status of any upcoming sepsis, or how does that work?
Okay, so I think I got that wrong, or I didn't get that across right. So our model is basically not per inference. I was just comparing it for the costing. We offer basically 24 inferences per day. So we check for every single hour.
Every hour, okay. And I'm sorry, just one last question. And just in terms of what does an early detection mean for sepsis? Do you know that? Is 6 hours sufficient, or I don't know? Yeah,
it is very efficient, right? So I'll give you an example. Like, you can't, even if you were to rely on lab reports, right? There is a lag of 12 hours, right? And then the problem here is that you would have to get lab reports every hour with the lag, right? And that's not humanly possible. The patient would actually leave the hospital, right? So what we're doing is that we generate these inferences based on vital signs only. So these can be collected non-invasively. They're these all vital signs, right? And you don't need to rely on the lab reports. So it's easier that way.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, judges. We've run out of time. Are we good to do the scoring now? Okay, so thank you, Sean, once again. Excellent presentation. Well done. The next team that we've got is, it's going to be Consoliads. Yes. So Consoliads, I saw you come in. Are you ready? You can do the screen sharing while the judges are entering their scores.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm online. I'm just going to share the screen. Are you able to see the screen, please?
Yes, we're able to hear the screen.
And is it clear, or do you see extra?
No, it's clear. No, we just see your screen. But okay, we also could hear the sound, I think, probably your notifications from your WhatsApp. So if you want to switch off your notifications.
I would definitely do that. Thanks for telling me. Okay, I'm done with it. I'm ready.
All right. So you're ready. Are the judges ready?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Michael and Pia, are you guys ready too?
Go ahead.
Yes,
yep.
sir.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Asad, your time starts now.
Cool. Hello, everybody. My name is Asad Mahmood. I am the founder and CEO of Consoliads. What do? Is basically we are a company that maximizes revenues for mobile app developers through mobile ads. We have got two models to work with. We do monetization. We grow apps effortlessly by showing in-app ads to the best global ad networks around the world. And at the same time, we provide the user acquisition through our own segmented user target audience. The journey so far, we have been founded in 2016, did a seed round for 150K, did a pre-series A of $1 million. And the stats that we exhibit right now is we are serving around 3 billion plus ad impressions per month, with the top regions being USA, Australia, Russia, India, China, and Indonesia as well, by the way. We have already been integrated into 50,000 apps, and we are serving more and more every day. Let me walk you through very quickly the ecosystem of how advertising works. Basically, you have an advertiser that goes to an ad network to put on demand, and that goes to the app publisher, and which is the ad was eventually shown to the users. However, the concept changed when the mediation concept was introduced. The mediation was responsible for choosing the right ad network for the right publisher to maximize the earnings. So what Consoli Ads did was, Consoli Ads first of all became the mediation layer, and we had a technology platform for the monetization of these mobile app publishers. So we connect them with the best ad networks and maximize their earning at the same time. So the traction that we created from this whole monetization or mediation platform was that we had already penetrated around 15% of the Pakistani market, adding 500 plus publishers and all that games that we told you about. The market itself is pretty big in terms of the smartphone penetration. So we can understand that this was a good use case for us. Our global presence in terms of the traffic that we got from these publishers and everybody around can be shown in the blue mark. That is the traffic existence. And we have our offices in Singapore, Dubai, and Pakistan is the complete development office for us. Now, what the problem is since we have got a lot of access to the traffic, the next big thing we want to do is empower our own ad network. And the metric that we call is called appographics. It is the ability to show or recommend the right in-app ads for the right user according to their interest and engagement with the ads. So what is going to happen is the advertisers can even put in their demand through Consoli Ads. That is, they will be able to get better conversions through a new medium or a new customer segmentation based on appographics. And on the other hand, the app publishers who use Consoli Ads will be able to even further increment their earnings and have a good user experience based on the different ad formats that we offer. The global market that we are talking about is primarily big games, is basically because we work very closely with games. We have all the ecosystem based on games. Whenever you promote new content as games, the best conversion is that we already get, and we hope to improve that even further. So we are talking about our focus on APAC and MENA, which accounts for 51% of the total TAM. And if you talk about a split between the in-app ads versus the in-app purchases, we're talking about somewhere around $19 billion. And if you talk about the share of the addressable market, we would be focusing on these kind of countries. Pakistan is like 1.15 billion, then Russia, Vietnam, this is all the APAC side. And we believe that we have served a good use case in Pakistan and a few use cases in India, and for that matter in Russia as well. So we believe that the global growth can bring in more and more audience for us. The competition, yes, we are aware of that. They are fat, bulky, big giants of the world. The interesting part is they have been there since our inception, and we still persist, and still they are there. We have seen some good acquisitions in the near future as well, in the recent past as well, I'm sorry. And we measure ourselves in terms of simplicity and the monetization graph. We place ourselves in higher simplicity with a better monetizing strategy. The business models that we do are basically we earn from ad network. There's a very interesting service that's called cross promotion, in which you advertise your own content within your own traffic. So we support that as well. And finally, the ad mediation that we already do for all the game publishers right now. The solution that we did for the Consoli Ads ad network was basically the use of AWS Personalize. It was a very simple use case, though the use case seems simple, but the data behind it is pretty much complex. It is required to recommend ads to the user from the available data, applying the right initial business filters for the specific app and use. So the KPI that we just instantly and we want to work on is conversion rates. That is the number of conversions divided by the number of overall impressions. The higher the conversions, the better the relevancy of the ads. From implementation, there are basically two phases. It's a very SDK based. It's a backend based solution. So like we would not be able to show you any UI, but we will tell you how the APIs work. So the user recognition is instantly done as soon as the SDK is initialized off the console ads. And the benefiting parties would be basically the user itself with non-disruptive ads, the advertiser with better ROAS, and the app publisher to maximize the earnings. The proposition is basically, after having done the mediation, there's a very unique one-stop shop thing that we do. We provide a lot of features along with the new ad network we're going to do that holds true only for console ads. And that's primarily the reason that despite of Google and ironSource and these big giants like Apple win, we are still persisting in this market. The MVP architecture was very, it was embedded with our own current one, where the API makes a call and it goes to the kinesis and the data is stored in the buckets, S3 buckets, whereas the Lambda goes to personalize and retrains it again and again to request for the right recommendations. So this is how it looks like. The data sets were configured, the solution recipe was created, and the APIs were for two types of recipes. One was a cold start, and the other one was a recommendation. I'll just quickly walk you through how it works. I'll just hit this URL, and you can see, can you see my screen with the URL? Okay, what I'll do is I'll just hit this URL, and you can see that the item IDs have been proposed by the specific user whose ID is basically this FKJ C22ZK. And if we use the same person and we say now he's been trained, let's have a next recommendation for the same guy. You can see the same API. If we hit that, it's going to be a set of recommendations of the API or the campaigns that will be given to the user according to the scores. The rest depends upon the SDK, how to present that on the SDK itself and show those ads on the different ad formats. The solution impact is basically the conversions would go higher. There are two kinds of impacts if you're talking about: higher conversions, less disruptive ads, and all the growth that it can bring to console ads in terms of operational enhancement, the ad network enhancements, and the product enhancement. The team that did all of this was myself, Walid Babar, the technical guy who has worked for big apps like Flow. Amir Hamza, he's the guy who has been working with Safer and ride-hailing ads. And Mr. Shahzad Masood, who is a brilliant tech person who has been doing that for 2 decades now. And that's how we managed to put this all in place, along with the AI itself. I think I'm done. Thank you very much. I am looking forward to the questions.
Thank you very much, Asad. Literally 2 seconds to spare, huh? But well done.
Timing myself.
Okay, awesome. Judges, over to you guys.
Having good presentation.
Okay.
I have a question. Just curious. This is an SDK for the mobile apps. The SDKs for web or both?
It's primarily focused on the mobile games right now because that's what we want to have our expertise in, and that's what we have shown results for. So the segmentation and all the data that we get pertaining to games is very, very relevant, and that's why we thought that if you bring that on AI ML, the conversions are going to get even better.
Cool. And what are you doing for basically for solving these basically data rules? I mean, there's a GDPR, then there's some in US, and then basically Pakistan government is also planning to put together one basically for Pakistan as well. What are you doing for that?
We are GDPR compliant. We are CCPA compliant. We make sure that our compliance is very much aligned because Google Play or app stores or the Amazon store, and we now even work with Samsung and Huawei. They have their standards to set apart. So we cannot just we have to fulfill them so that the app publishers don't suffer any problem in terms of policies. So we are completely compliant with COPA, CCPA, and GDPR.
Thanks.
Yes. Moving on to another judge. Yes, Atif.
Asad, so this might be a naive question, but my understanding is if you are an ad engine, essentially you have to do ML, right? So from the very get-go, you're trying to predict which ads would get the most engagement and so on. So could you talk about like the prior approach and then what you are doing now using AWS and what the distinction is? And what's the biggest value that this new approach will create?
I think somebody's mic is unmuted, so I have a lot of noise in it.
Overlap. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Okay.
Okay, sorry for that. Okay, Atif, to answer your question, basically previously what we were doing is the approach was very much app segmented. The app that executed the user was actually based on some simple business logics, was trying to find out ads, which was just based on filters and business logic that could have come. Why did we do that? It was primarily because we did not have enough data to train anybody or user-specific segmentation. So what we did was, what we called it was app-specific segmentation. So now where we are heading to, interestingly, the conversion rates were not very good, honestly speaking. But however, what we saw was the concept of cross-promotion, where you put your own ads for your own users, was very, very good. And then we thought that after a while, an year or so, when we have sufficient data to segment users based on their usage of the apps, so we call that appographics, only then we'll be able to put AI or ML into our solution. And that's what we just did.
Got it. Thank you. Super helpful.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, judges? Pedro? Okay. Priya, anyone else?
I just guess maybe a naive question, but you showed a slide on your unique selling proposition and a lot of competition in there. How can you talk through that a bit more? How would you stand out of the pack?
So why did I make this slide was primarily the reason that we're talking about giants like Google and all that people, right? So why is it, my point was, why is it that we still exist? It's primarily the fact because we are a one-stop shop for a game publisher, or probably the approach of the platform is very much different as opposed to what these giants bring in. So the first and the two foremost and very, very obvious things that work for us is customer support. We provide very, very on-ground customer support to all these people, and yet bring all those features that they want to do in terms of gaming at one platform. Interestingly, they don't have to log into any other platform to see their data. So it's not just an ad network. It's not just an ad mediation platform. I think we would call it an ads management platform.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. So Asad, I think with this, we'll say thank you once again. Well done on your presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, judges and everybody, for having me as a part of Consoli Ads over here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So the next team who needs to be ready is Jugnu.
Yep. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, just a moment before we begin. So let me know, Summer, and
we will do. Okay, judges, are we ready? Okay, Abdullah has said yes. Atif, maybe. Okay, Pedro says yes. Michael, Priya?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Awesome. All right, so Mohammed? Yes. Okay, I was just going to say, because we can see your notes for yourself. So.
Yeah.
And do you want to do full screen for us?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a moment.
Mhm. Okay, when you do that, we see your notes. So maybe
Yeah,
keep it
sorry.
at the other. Yeah, no worries. Okay, this works. All right. So if you're ready and the judges are ready, so we will start. 1 second. Do I see? I see some extra stuff still. Okay.
Do you see it now?
Yes, it's wonderful. Okay, so
Apologies,
you're ready.
I didn't extend my display. I was duplicating it. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so your time starts now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mohamed, and I'll be representing Jugnu for the AI ML external demo day today. So just to give you a brief introduction of Jugnu. Jugnu is a B2B e-commerce platform, and we are on a mission to digitize and empower small retail stores in Pakistan with a convenient, reliable, and easy to use platform for ordering and getting deliveries within or less than 24 hours. Our vision is to directly impact and uplift more than 1 million small businesses to directly procure from manufacturers and improve their financial inclusion. As far as the numbers go, we have 25,000 install base just from one city alone in Pakistan, which is Lahore. Currently, we're growing 30% month on month. And to your surprise, up till now, we've just injected $4 million worth of seed money into the business. Moving on, and the problem statement. The flow of goods from manufacturers to buyers is broken and inefficient, and only 2 out of 3 retailers get serviced with their orders. Within the industry, the margins offered by vendors and suppliers are bleak and thin, so viability of the B2B e-commerce business hinges on volume and driving average order value, numbers of items per bill, and ordering frequency. Additionally, Jugnu carries a vast assortment of products, which means that the retailer has to invest time and considerable effort in order to find products they intend to buy. To add to this, attention spans of the retailers range between 1 to 5 minutes per session, and Jugnu wants to cash in on this opportunity and make engagement meaningful for the retailer as well as profitable for the business. So the solution, after careful evaluation, Jugnu feels that deploying AWS Personalize will help address the problems at hand. So out of the 4 personalized recipes, Jugnu intends to implement 2 at this stage and the remaining 2 after this program ends in a phased approach. For this program, we have developed and are in process of deploying user personalized and similar item recipes on the checkout screen, as well as the item detail page respectively. Personalized will give Jugnu the ability to develop unique customer-centric browsing experience to refine product recommendations to our ever-growing user base. Additionally, it will ensure that there are no cold starts with respect to items and users, ensuring a delightful customer experience from the get-go. Lastly, we will not only improve product discoverability, but it will also ensure that we can boost cart upsell and cross-sell based on personalized recommendations. So in terms of monitoring the success rate, what Jugnu intends to do is place various click events throughout our app. And some of the key metrics that we would like to track are click-through rate on the recommended items, items added to the cart that were recommended, items purchased that were recommended, average basket size, average order value, and the number of unique items bought. So in terms of the architecture, Jugnu Retail app UI uses CleverTap to collect user-based events in real time. AWS Amplify is used to send relevant training events to Amazon Personalized by an event tracker. These events are used to train the Amazon Personalized model, When an end user views a page that contains a personalization feature, Jugnu's retail mobile app gets the relevant recommendations. CleverTap's real-time reports are updated and the latest information regarding the user interaction can be made actionable through CleverTap's notification engine. Now, our unique value proposition is more or less based on the ability to deliver more sophisticated experiences. And as these experiences have evolved over time, so has the expectation of customers to receive a more personalized experience with the brands they engage with. Customers today expect frictionless, curated experiences across digital channels as they consider purchase and use products and services. Delivering curated and relevant customer experiences is what Jugnu thrives to do with AWS Personalized. Therefore, Jugnu's unique value proposition is that we'll be the first ones to implement AWS Personalized in the B2B e-commerce market, and we're the first ones to take on personalizing promotions page with our concept that is ready and development underway. So I'll quickly switch over to the demo and show you how Personalized works for us. So as you can see, there's a retailer who wants to buy baby care products. He adds a baby care to the cart. And as you can see, we're starting to provide him similar items that he can buy based on the algorithm. Additionally, on the list item page, he can see various similar items he can buy. Now, when we move to the cart, he can see recommended items on user personalized recommendations. And these are based on his past user experiences. Now, to go back to the idea and the concept of having ads and personalized ads, I'll show you a quick demo of that as well. So what Jugnu intends to do is have a promotions page which is backed by recommendations. So a retailer, when he opens a promotions page, will be shown recommended items or recommended promotions based on his buying experience or behavior. He'll see top brands based on his buying habits, featured promotions, if there are any, we can push those, top categories that he buys from, top selling items, additional ad campaigns that we're running, and then top 3 categories that he buys from and items within those categories. So coming back to the impact of the solution, in terms of expected outcomes, we hope to improve the basket mix by 15%, increase average order value by 20%, increase our overall gross merchandise value by 25%, purely based on AWS Personalized. With the personalized service, we hope to improve discoverability of relevant new products for retailers by 10% and make the buying process much smoother. All in all, brand loyalty, growth in terms of sales, and increased efficiency by using data to create more sophisticated and individually tailored customer experiences. If you talk about the team, we have Sharoon and Yasser, who are both co-founders of Jugnu, 12 years of experience in B2B e-commerce and system architecture design. They'll be supervising and guiding the core team in implementing Personalized. Additionally, we have an innovative and dedicated development team who combined have over 18 years of experience developing B2B e-commerce platform and also are certified AWS solution architects. They are responsible currently for successfully implementing, maintaining our AWS infrastructure and effectively deploying AWS Recognize for identifying authentic and original ID cards of retailers who sign up to our platform. All in all, we're confident that we'll be able to successfully implement AWS Personalized various offerings from now and into the near future. Thank you very much, and would like to take questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, judges.
Yeah, I have a question. How are you arriving at the impact of the solution numbers? That last thing, you had lots of nice percentage points there. It's like, because you tested it, it's a prediction. It's just curious.
Well, we've based some of these on a near competitor, or I guess a solution or a B2B e-commerce player, sorry, B2C e-commerce player that have recently implemented it, and that's the Grocer app. So some of those percentages are benchmarked off what they've basically advertised on various platforms.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
And
Pedro.
what
And
is your
as far as accuracy goes, sorry about that. And as far as accuracy goes, we have a 98% accuracy in terms of similar items. And because our model is being trained right now, and we've used a small data set, so the user recommended data set is currently 63% accurate. But hopefully, as more data points come in from and buying history builds up, we can probably increase that to the upper 90s.
Okay, Pedro.
Yeah, I have just a quick question. Could you summarize again what the unique value proposition is? Is it personalized B2B e-commerce?
So yes, it's personalized B2B e-commerce, and the fact that we'll be the first ones to implement it on our B2B e-commerce platform, and the fact that we will be moving towards personalizing promotions and targeted marketing for our customers.
And when you say first one, is that first ones to implement personalization or first ones to implement AWS personalize?
First ones in the B2B e-commerce market in Pakistan to implement AWS personalize.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. Yes, Abdul, you wanted to ask the question, and after that we
Yeah.
move to Atif.
Yeah, and you said your competition is Grocer app, or is that your competition?
So no, Grocer Apps is not our competition. They're a B2C platform. Our competition would be the likes of Bazaar, Vitailo, Dodger, and Dastagir. They're the B2B e-commerce players.
Thanks.
Okay, Atif.
Excellent presentation. How do you think about negative metrics? And the context is when you implement these optimizations that drive higher order value and more revenue for the company in aggregate, sometimes you end up creating negative experience with some customers. So if you can speak more about how you're tracking for that.
I guess it's a double-edged sword. And right now, we will obviously have to learn with this solution and kind of understand what the data points show. And obviously, this is because we are stepping into, I guess, uncharted territory, or we were the first ones to kind of go into this line. So I guess experience and that will probably help us kind of understand what the negative impacts are, and then probably we could come up with a innovative solution to address those.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions, judges? Okay, I think we're good. Mohammed, thank you very much for a very comprehensive presentation. And the next team that should get ready is Sales Flow.
So hi everyone, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Hassan, why don't you go ahead and set up your screen?
Yes, so I'm just sharing my screen in a bit. 1 second.
Perfect. Yes, we can see your screen. Let's just wait for the judges to let us know if they're ready, and then we'll start.
Right. Let me know when to start.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so while we're waiting for the judges, Park Wheels have already received, a WhatsApp message from someone who wants to be connected to you. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the connect later on, right? It could be just business development that you're doing. Maybe some customers want to buy your services. Okay, judges, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, Pedro's good. Atif, Abdul Manan, you're ready? Yeah, okay. Priya, Michael?
Yes, okay.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so your time starts Oh, so you have to go on mute, Hassan. All right, so Hassan, you're ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so your time starts now.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Hassan and we're SalesFlow. The use case that we are presenting today is SalesFlow Airstrike, which is an image recognition solution designed to digitize the merchandising process. SalesFlow is a leading software as a service solution provider to Fortune 500 companies, helping its customers grow ahead of the market by better distribution of their products and effective Salesforce management. We are currently operating in 4 different countries with over 50 plus satisfied customers, 3,000 plus distribution points, and more than 25,000 field agents. Annually, around $3 billion US worth of transactions flow through our systems, which is roughly 1% of Pakistan's GDP. And at the bottom, you can see some of the notable customers currently trusting our technology. The branded FMCG industry in Pakistan is worth more than $50 billion US. And these consumer good companies heavily invest in marketing with the end goal being that their products are bought. Now, typically, FMCGs use this funnel or pyramid where they try to ensure that their products are available. If they are available, are they visible? If they're visible, are they engaging and being understood? And if yes, are we closing the sale? This pyramid is followed to maximize sales whenever a product is launched by an FMCG. Now, there are roughly around 700,000 retail stores in Pakistan, but physically, companies are not able to reach the 700,000 stores. The maximum that companies manage to reach is around 150 to 200,000 stores. And that is only 21% of the stores in Pakistan. And these are the stores that are physically visited for order taking, where the product, we can say, is available. Now, only 2% of the stores, around 15,000 in total, are physically visited for in-store marketing. And these are the stores that are monitored closely. These are the stores where merchandising tools are deployed, where the product, you can say, is visible, accessible, engaging, and being understood. Now, what this means is that 98% of the stores in Pakistan are untouched. So companies don't know whether their product is available or engaging or understood in these 680,000 stores, which ultimately leads to missed revenue. So the real challenge right now that FMCGs face is to tap further into these 98% untouched stores to grow and maximize their sales, as this could lead to a potential growth of $5 billion US. Now, what hinders in increasing the current coverage is that the way all these companies perform their merchandising physical visits right now is by manual data collection through store representatives. And since the data is manually collected, the cost attached to each visit is very high and consumes a lot of time, which again is the reason that companies manage to cover only 2% of the stores in Pakistan. Now, this is where SalesFlow Airstrike comes in, which is an image recognition solution that automates the retail merchandising process using Amazon recognition and SageMaker. So we conducted more than 15 market visits on over 60 shops. We did our initial R&D experiments with TensorFlow, but there were too many things that needed to be managed manually. And we reached the conclusion that we should be obsessed more with the outcome rather than the process. So we read multiple AWS white papers, we used technical support, and after experiments with SageMaker as well, we built this current solution on Amazon recognition in the manner we have it right now. So field agents must only capture images now, and SalesFlow Airstrike will do the rest. SalesFlow Airstrike significantly saves time and the cost of a visit, ultimately leading to a higher store coverage, reaching more stores with lesser manpower, and increasing the overall productivity of the visits. Its integration with our system allows for real-time data visibility, powerful analytics, and also a human visit auditing mechanism that takes that data accuracy to nearly 100%. Our unique value proposition is that SalesFlow Airstrike is the first of its kind in Pakistan and brings an affordable, highly accurate, and efficient system that can easily be integrated with the current operations of the 50 plus customers part of our technology ecosystem. To sum up, the technical architecture we use to build the recognition technology is designed to make the solution cost-effective and scalable. How? So by using our model in batch operations at scheduled intervals, in which the queues containing the images from the visits are processed. For model preparation, historical image data in the S3 bucket is annotated by our private labeling team on SageMaker Ground Truth, and that labeled data set is then used to train the model on Amazon recognition. So now we have the MVP. We have a video for this, just a second.
FMCGs in Pakistan significantly invest in marketing, presence, and engagement, and yet only 15% of the retail outlets are tapped. Of these merchandised outlets, companies lose out on 30% of their total sales whenever buyers confront an out-of-stock item. Despite this, the way all these companies deal with this problem is manual data collection through store representatives. Manual methods of in-store measurements are costly, time-consuming, and unreliable. Salesflow Airstrike makes easy store checks just one click away. Using their mobile devices, the representatives need to capture pictures of the shelf, and Salesflow Airstrike will do the rest. Our solution enables smarter working by identifying every SKU present in the pictures with 95% plus accuracy and saving time by 70% as manual counting is no longer required. Results are calculated in the system and are then used to provide intelligent in-store analytics and BI dashboards, which are available to relevant managers and executives, allowing them to take immediate corrective action. To add a layer of authenticity, our quality check team can audit and update the data if our model misses a prediction. Airstrike can seamlessly be integrated with our products, part of our existing retail ecosystem, which is trusted by over 40 clients, with whom we want to revolutionize the retail industry of Pakistan. We can now save our clients cost and reduce their workforce by 50% and increase store coverage by up to 2 times.
The impact this solution is bound to have is vast, from the day-to-day lives of merchandisers to changing the industry as we know it today. We offer to save 70% of the merchandisers' time in store with providing 95% accuracy of product availability. All this data is relayed back to the manager and provided with real-time dashboards so that they can give sales reps actionable feedback. In addition, FMCGs can expect to see 15% incremental growth as well as expand their store universe by 50%. Many companies have already shown interest in our product, and we've actually started pilots with Unilever and Friesland Campina. So as we speak, there are field agents out there using our technology. Lastly, we plan to expand this idea to our retailer app that will allow store owners to self-audit their stores for company incentives. Finally, let's talk about the team working on this product. We have all contributed to apps that are being used by 250,000 stores across Pakistan. With a combined 10 years of experience, we have worked with some of the biggest names in the industry to drive their growth. We are therefore confident that our team is more than capable of implementing it and seeing it through to the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done, guys. Very nice with the video effect as well. Okay, judges, over to you. Yes, Manan.
Hi, quick question. You mentioned just like 15% growth for the basically brands, the businesses. Just curious, what sort of metrics did you use to gauge this number?
So according to the data we have from our existing clients, we saw that there is about a 15% difference in the revenue you get from a store which is merchandised versus a store that is not merchandised. So because of our solution, companies are going to be able to merchandise more stores, which means a greater amount of revenue is going to be generated.
Thanks.
Okay, other questions, guys? Okay, is everybody blown away? There's no other questions from the judges. Okay, Atif has one, I think, and then Pedro also. Okay, Atif, go ahead.
So that was really cool. My question is, like you see a lot of ML applications where the data is digitized, but actually interacting with physical world, which what you're doing is very cool. What other scenarios do you see it enabling in the retail ecosystem as an extension of this baseline inventory checking and automating the ordering and getting analytics on that?
So as we mentioned that right now for merchandising, physical visits are conducted, which are very costly. So now with this technology, later on, we can scale it to perhaps even retail store owners can merchandise their stores themselves by just taking some pictures inside their stores. So they can take pictures of the products present in their stores, and our model can then merchandise the outlet, and it can label it as compliant or not, and just by the click of a button or by capturing one image.
So you could say we're actually democratizing the idea of merchandising, where we're empowering store owners to merchandise themselves, get some company incentives, but also allow companies to benefit off of this.
Right. Yeah, and it'd be really cool if you can also extend it to, warehousing part of that. Because
Absolutely.
that's where, a lot of manual work is involved today. And, if 95% of that can be automated with just some additional checks, that's huge cost savings for companies.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
Thank you, Atif. All right, Pedro.
Yeah, just actually, Atif had my original question, so I'll shift to a second question. What's the accuracy of the model under the varying conditions? Have you guys measured that? Is it robust to the different setups, to different lighting?
So in our initial pilot, we started our pilot with Freeze and Campina right now. So those results are still pending. We'll be getting those results in a day or two. But right now, in the initial model results, they gave us around 85% accuracy. And the reason being that some of the labels in which we didn't train the model with enough data, those labels did not have enough accuracy, but the rest of the results, they were pretty positive for us. And this is basically the gist of it. So the initial results were pretty positive, and we tested this out in different settings, different lighting, and in different environments. If that answers your question.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, judges. All right, so I'm assuming there are no further questions. We still have 1 more minute for the judges in case there's anything else that you'd like to ask. Okay, all right. So Hassan and your colleague, okay, I don't remember everybody's name, so thank you very, very much. This was fantastic. Well done. And the next team, which we have on board, who can now start preparing themselves, is Retailer. I see Akib already.
Hello, should I start sharing my screen?
Yes, perfect. Go ahead. Let's set up in the meantime.
Wait. Ready when you are?
Yes, this is visible.
Hi, Summer. So, shall I start?
No, just wait for a quick cue once the judges are ready. Okay.
Okay.
I can see both of you are so excited to do this. So I'm equally excited, by the way.
Yeah.
Go ahead already.
Okay, awesome. So Michael, Abdul, Pedro, everyone's good? Okay, awesome. All right. So your time starts now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So this is Usama Rizwan, and I will be joined by Akib Rasool to represent Retailer Technologies and in integration of Amazon Personalized. So moving forward, a little overview regarding Retailer. Retailer is an online marketplace that caters SMEs retailers in the MENA region. We are a B2B model-based startup. We are currently digitalizing and reshipping the retail sector to make supply chain easily accessible and beautifully uncomplicated. And so we vision to empower 10 million SMEs in the MENA region by integrating technology and access to real-time data and credits. Also, if I talk about the numbers, we have gotten 40,000 plus retail base who have accumulated a total of more than 1 billion orders, and we currently serve more than 2,000 distinct SKUs. Also, if we we are located in 4 different cities around the globe: Karachi, Islamabad, Jeddah, and Riyadh. Regarding the funding, in the month of May of the current year, we were able to secure $6.7 million in our seed funding round. Moving forward, so basically there are 3 pillars, core pillars that are helping us to reshape informal retail ecosystem that we are currently working on in order to reshape the informal retail economy. So the first one is the digital operating system, where we want to automate the inventory procurement system and accounting via SaaS products. Secondly, supply chain infrastructure to find the right equilibrium between supply and demand while using the technology-driven logistics to drive operations and commercial efficiencies. And the third one is the financial inclusion. We want to provide short and long-term lending solutions and enable digital payments infrastructure. So we have also launched BNPL as well. Moving forward, the problems that we want to solve using the Amazon Personalize are segmented into two categories. The first one is known as operating system, in which we have included problems that are mostly customer driven and are related to our core applications, like how can we provide a curated shopping experience, or how can we increase the conversion rate on our application. Secondly, we also want to solve inventory procurement, which is an internal part of the process. We want to see if personalized can help us increase the productivity of procuring inventory by eliminating the issue of inventory shortage or excess inventory. So from now onwards, Akib, would you like to continue, please?
Okay, when talking about the solutions, when we're integrating with AWS Personalize, we can give a curated experience specific to a need of a customer through Personalize. Ways we could incorporate Personalize within our app is by showing similar items in our checkout page. Another use case might be recommendation slider on our homepage, like right at the bottom, you can see that. Also, we are also working on re-ranking search results, even category re-ranking. Anything that can be re-ranked to cater to our customers' experience, we're working on that particularly. Benefits of incorporating Personalize can be less hassle for a customer while ordering. Yeah, he can easily find the most relevant products according to his interactions history and so on. And also in doing so, it decreases our ordering time altogether for our customers. The unique value proposition, before talking about that, we are kind of in the works of like manually recommending products to our customers. We do that through our telesales agents, but it only covers retailers who contribute the most towards our GMV, like special customers, retailers, sorry. It is a time-consuming task, and also it is mostly dragged through only one type of interaction, so like order place or order history. When incorporating AWS Personalize, we would be automating this process. In doing so, we will be considering patterns which humans might take a long time to understand. And also, we will be catering multiple types of interactions history too. And then again, in the incorporating AWS Personalize, it will be a time-saving and resource-efficient solution. When talking about a minimum viable product, our minimum viable product for now is just to include the recommendation slider on our homepage as a style baseline. We will build up afterwards. We are doing that through user personalization recipe and the recommendation slider on our homepage. As we just started our development phase, we cannot show any numbers or any quality or so on, but we are also in the works of running an offline pilot using our telesales team. Also, AWS Personalize would recommend products unique to every user and also provide a personal experience to them. The demo of our minimum viable product, we had to show setup to first, like how you go in, and like first we import the data sets. We're working with currently two data sets in products, metadata and user interactions. We train our solutions against them, like user personalized using the recipe, and train a version for that, and the solution matrix too. And after the training is done, we set up a campaign or a personalized API to call when getting recommendations. And we do that for now using a Python script. Wait, it's running, and yeah, it's going to give us a list like this. And there's a step afterwards too. We are going to show these recommendations in our homepage through a recommendation slide. Okay, success metrics would be for us. We will be comparing before and after, how much increase do we actually get in our average order value, or how much decrease in average ordering time, and the increase in the number of repeating customers, or decrease in customer churn. And finally, we will be per order, we will be looking at the percentage of items ordered through recommendation list, and we are hoping to get an increase in that number. When talking about the impact, it is a scalable thing for us. Like, we are in the works of building layers upon it. Like, when we're talking about inventory management, which are vital SKUs when procuring certain SKUs, and also category-wise re-ranking. Personalized only does item-wise re-ranking, but we are hoping we can also work on category-wise re-ranking too within our app. It does not per se give us an unfair advantage per se, because every online marketplace needs to incorporate some kind of a recommendation at some point later. And I think this is our time to do that. Successful implementation of personalized would mean for us an increase in GMV, easy and efficient ordering process for our customers, and then again, decrease in customer churn. The team that is currently working on this whole project is me, and Usama there too. I'm a business intelligence associate, and Usama is basically an international graduate. People who will be overseeing our work will be Umar Kai, he is a data and AI team lead, and he has a lot of experience with AWS, and also our director of data science, Mudassar Khan, with a bucket load of experience in his way. Thank you, and any questions?
Literally 1 second to spare. Okay, awesome. Thank you for the presentation, guys. Judges. Okay, Pedro, go for it.
So I didn't see any numbers on the evaluation metrics for your solution. Have you tested this out, launched this live, and do you have any numbers on that, like conversion rate, etc.?
Basically, we just this week we are about to enter development stage for this personalized, right? And hand in hand, we will also run an offline pilot using our telesales team. For now, we can give you holistic percentages, but then again, those are not facts. So we thought it would be better to leave them out. But when we're talking holistically, I can say we're expecting an increase of around 15 to 17% in our average order value, or a 12% in customer increase of 12% in our customer engagement. And then again, these are just holistic numbers for now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, who else has a question? Also, Zulfikar, you'll have to ask the question in the chat function. Only the judges are asking the questions in the interest of time. Yes, Michael? Okay, no other questions, judges? We still have a lot of time. Michael, we can't hear you in case you're saying something.
I'm not. Sorry, I'm always off mute because I have a mute
on
my mic button.
Okay, Atif, Priya, anyone else? Abdul Manan?
I'm good, nothing for me, please.
I'm good.
Okay, so what can I say, Retailer team? Maybe it was very good. Maybe definitely the presentation was good, so well done. All right, so we'll leave a few minutes for the judges to enter their scores.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I was just going to say, I think I don't think the judges have any further questions. There are a couple of questions coming through in the chat function, so feel free to answer those in the chat. And what I would request you, Trucker, the next team is Trucker, so please feel free to set up.
Hi, everyone. Should I share my screen?
Yes, please go ahead and share your screen, and then I'll give you the cue when it's time to start.
Got it.
So Kasra, I don't know if you can notice, but Manur is smiling away because she's very happy that you've used the visual that she helped create.
Yes, definitely.
Extra points mil gaya aapko. Too bad that Manur is not one of the judges.
Very helpful. Thank you very much.
Okay, so judges, are we good?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, awesome. All right. So your time starts now, Kasra.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, thank you very much everyone for joining. My name is Kasra Zanaya, and I'll be presenting the use cases we have been working on Trucker. So starting with the company overview, Trucker is basically Pakistan's first and largest online logistics platform, providing both ERP solution for logistic management as well as a marketplace. This year so far, we have done more than 40,000 trips, which is valued at around $2 million in GMV, with the help of more than 2,000 transporters and drivers. We are serving 50 of the top corporates of Pakistan, including Artistic Millionaires, Ittihad Chemicals, Master Group, Hush Puppies, KSB, etc. Right now, we are at seed round and raised $600,000 in the seed funding, and looking to close our next round by the end of January. So talking a bit about the product, we are offering both marketplace and a logistic platform. The marketplace is powered by a shipper app through which a user can place an order for any kind of truck, and then the application that is used by transporters where they can place bids, manage their fleet, and do all sorts of stuff to manage their fleet better. Along with that, we are also providing Trucker OS, which is a logistic management solution. This solution was initially built for ourselves. We built that in-house to manage our own marketplace trips, but at the start of this year, we exposed the solution to one of our customers and they loved it, and we found a product market fit. Ever since then, we have deployed this Trucker OS, which is an ERP logistics management, to multiple corporates, and more are being deployed. So talking about the problem, traditionally, the sign up of our transporters used to be a very manual process. We used to, for signing up, transporter was supposed to come to one of our offices with the documents and all the information, and only after providing and verification of the documents manually, they were able to place bid on the marketplace trips. And that was a hectic process and not scalable. To make that more scalable, we introduced the onboarding flow within our sign-up funnel, within our application, so which was previously just used for placing a bid. So introducing that, the onboarding became very scalable, but 62% of our hard-earned user drop off during the sign-up process. And the reason being, there were many extra fields that were mandatory and the documents that were supposed to be uploaded in order to sign up. This was very important for us due to the compliance that we promised to our corporate customers. And in total, we were taking, there were 15 different fields along with 2 documents that were to be uploaded. So this was causing one of the problem for our sign up, and it was a huge problem for us because 62% of our marketing budget spent is just drained due to our sign up funnel. So to fix this problem, one solution could be to reduce the fields, to not take the documents, but that would mean compromising the quality of our valuable customers, and that was not an option for us. So the other option that we went towards was pre-filling the sign-up fields from the uploaded documents that transporter upload. So what we did was we moved the upload document step right after the OTP verification and extracted all the information from the document and pre-filled all the sign-up fields that weren't that much that were hard to input. For example, CNIC number, license number, expiry date. These fields are pre-filled. So implementing this system, this feature, the success metrics for us was number 1, increasing the sign-up funnel. Number 2, time on task should be done quickly than before, and above all, user satisfaction. So to implement this, we are using AWS Tech Stack. Our services are running on EC2 instance, and all the documents we upload on AWS S3. And then that document is read by text tree. We extract the information, use AWS Comprehend to make sense of that information, and then display that on the field of users. We are also using AWS Redshift to make to do analysis of our overall documents and data that we collect as well. So that's the main architecture that we are following. There are many more moving parts, but this is the main thing for this user case. So about the MVP, since AWS made this very as easy as calling an API, it's already on production and being A/B tested right now. And the numbers that we got so far is number one, our sign up that was used to be only 38% of success is now 52%, which is a huge jump for us. The time and task increased from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. And what used to be frustrating is now magical for our users because they just see the fields be filled without having to provide any other information. So talking about the team capability, we have a big team across different cities of Pakistan. The team that was allocated for AI/ML project, Reactor project, consisted of a backend engineer, front-end engineer, a data scientist, and myself. So it was an interesting experience, but since AWS made that so easy, we had enough time to also start working on our second use case. So this use case is basically a long requested feature from our customers. Our ERP solution that is implemented in multiple corporate companies have been requesting a feature to auto-detect anomalies in the route, anomalies like route diversion or long stops. So these are the features that we could implement and we have implemented.
Kastra, do you want to switch off your video? You've gotten stuck. Okay, Kastra, we can't hear you. You've gotten stuck. I think he's dropped off, so I've stopped his time. And I think, yes, I think he's accidentally had to drop off. So what we'll do is we'll start from his second use case once he's back. In the meantime, because we have the next team that's here, so we can start with our next presentation. Ozone Digital, you're in the room.
Hi, we are in the room. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So if you guys could just, reshare
Yeah,
your
just
screen.
give us a second. We're just pulling up the slides, please.
Perfect, absolutely. And judges, just hold your thought process till the first use case, okay? So once they're back, I think we're going to have them present from the second use case. Okay, wonderful. Ozone Digital, we see your screen. Just give me a quick second to set your time. Okay, judges, are we good to proceed with the last? Actually, this is the last presentation of the day. Wow, I can't believe we made it through right till the end almost, right? Before a tech error had to occur, obviously. This is normal. So, okay, Abdul says he's good. Michael, Priya, Atif, are we good? Okay, awesome. All right, so Ozone Digital team, your time starts now.
All right, Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come here and give a quick presentation on some of the exciting tools that we are developing for the insurance market space. A little bit about ourselves. Ozone Digital is an insurtech market player, the only one in Pakistan that is working on insurance value chain perspective. And what that allows us to do is provide solutions to any or all stakeholders within the value chain for the industry, be it an insurance company or a broker or an agent. From a company standpoint, we are at the seed stage or pre-series A. We've already bootstrapped ourselves roughly around $350,000. And the revenue realized so far since December of 20 is a $250,000 approximately. And what we're expecting in terms of revenue is roughly around $1.3 million going forward in the next year. So as I said, at the outset, we are an insurance value chain service provider. By that, what we're looking for or what we're looking at is anything and everything that's going on in the insurance ecosystem, of the industry. So the value chain itself gives us the advantage to look at various gaps and opportunities to create efficiencies for all the stakeholders in the value chain, and also create opportunities for further growth within the industry from new markets and new products and new services. So for the perspective of this particular exercise, we have looked into sales and distribution or acquisition of a policy and claims management, and we have built our use cases around that. From a problem perspective, what we have identified within Pakistan and also in other South Asian countries, it's to do with the motor insurance business, and worldwide as well. It's one of the largest insurance business in the retail space. We identify two problems: non-efficient data capturing and high claim survey costs. And with respect to the data being non-efficiently captured, we are looking at different data entry errors, high time consumption, poor customer experience, and resource inefficiencies. And similarly for high claim costs as well, high costs, time consumption, and resource inefficiencies for all the stakeholders engaged. And as far as the solutions are concerned for this, for the problems that we put up, what we're looking at is, increase in data accuracy by at least 30% when it comes to digitized data entry. And we're looking at a time saving of at least 75% when it comes to, a data being entered very quickly digitally. And obviously it leads to high customer or improved customer experience. When it comes to this exercise, and we looked at motor insurance, and based on that, what we're looking at is approximately 1.8 million vehicles on the road in Pakistan which are insured, a very, very low number. Based on the damages for this particular segment, looking at about slightly north of 1 million claims, and with a 1,300 rupees survey cost for each survey, we're looking at approximately 1.4 billion Pakistani rupees spent on just surveys in the industry. So for a B2B client that we're working on currently, we can deploy this solution, and this solution can actually lead that partner to at least 156 million worth of saving in terms of survey costs. And just from a time perspective, we're looking at 5 minutes of digital claim survey versus a 24 hours average of a claim survey. Some of the benefits for the insurance companies or insurers, we're looking at enhanced turnaround time for policy issuance. We're looking at reduced resource requirement for policy screening. Obviously, it's leading to bottom line margins being enhanced for the insurance company, reduction on claim frauds, and efficiencies and accuracy of data capture being enhanced. So what we've translated all these issues into is an MVP, and that MVP is able to serve both the D2C as well as B2B market spaces. And the problems in terms of data capture are being included in our MVP, and also with regards to a survey, we're able to include that. So we're just going to go quickly to the demo piece now.
So I start off with the first use case. And first use case, the customer will upload his government ID through our app. And by using Amazon SDK, we will send that image to Amazon recognition to check it's either a valid government ID or not. After that, we will send that image to Amazon Text Track to extract the data from it. And after validating the data, we will also extract the customer signature from the government issued ID. That will help us for KYC purposes. Then we will send all the data to our KYC, our platform that is also deployed on EC2 machine. Our second use case, consists of digitalizing claim assessment. In here, first, customer will do a swift claim journey. During this, he will upload his car chases number. His car chases number will be sent to Amazon recognition. Using custom labels, we will check what is the engine number. From that, we'll extract a policy. Is there any active policy or not? Against that policy, we will send the damaged vehicle image to 3 models. The first model will detect the damage types. The second model will detect what type site is there from where the damages has been taken. And the third type will detect the damaged parts. So using our first demo, here you can see that's our customer app. So customer is doing a policy acquisition. So for policy acquisition, it's mandatory for him to upload his CNIC. So he's going to scan the CNIC and that will be sent to Amazon AWS services. So all the data will be extracted from his CNIC and his signature will also be extracted for financial institutions. It's must to have their signatures. So here you can see the customer signature is also extracted from CNIC. And the whole acquisition process is done. So in the insurer side, the insurer can see in this admin panel that all the data has been successfully and efficiently captured. So moving forward to admin panel, you can see we will open that policy. So the data has been captured. So the next next use case is digitalizing the claim assessment. Here we have a process of quick, swift claim journey. He's going to scan his chases number. Against it, we will validate the chases number, and then we're going to upload. We'll find a policy from our EC2 machine. Here we have find a policy. Now he's going to enter what damage details are there. Okay, my front part has been damaged. Now I'll upload the damaged part images. Here you can see my front car has been damaged. Against this, 3 models will be trained. Against these 3 models, we will quickly do the claim journey. And from admin perspective, the insurer can see that automatically we have detected these damaged parts. Bonnet has been damaged from the image, the bumper has been damaged, and the headlight has been damaged. So against this, we have estimated this damage costs and labor cost.
Okay, just quickly about the team. We've got a team having a combined experience of about 55 to 60 years amongst the lot.
I'm really sorry, guys, but your time is up.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, judges, over to you.
Hey, just quick question. How would you ensure, the user or the customer is uploading the correct photo of a correct car, photo of a car that was originally insured?
Okay, so this is primarily applicable to a use case where a customer has actually already acquired a digital policy within our system, which means that we are also counter checking the information that we are picking up from the survey with the data that was originally there. So there's a counter check from that perspective as well. And obviously, when it comes to this particular use case, we need to have a completely digital policy. Otherwise, it's going to be a challenge for us to validate. So there is a first level of validation that's available within our platform as well. And by the way, our accuracy for that as of now for model 1 and 2 is 100%. And as far as model 3 is concerned, it's about 90%.
Do you take the photos of the vehicle while, the customer is purchasing the insurance?
Yes. So it's part of the same journey. A person is actually taking digital, pictures, including the chassis number of the vehicle when it is being insured. And just for validation perspective, in terms of Pakistan, we have a survey perspective, which is to do with an insurance company going out and double checking whether that risk actually exists. So the moral hazard is reduced at the time of purchase of a policy.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Abdul. All right, other questions, judges?
I see you label some things as like what's making you more efficient. Do you think what other things is this going to help with? Like, do you envision if because you mentioned you're taking pictures of someone when they go and get the policy in their car, you guys don't write the policy, right? Someone else underwrites it. But do you see that what you're doing might help create, better insurance deals for people, knowing like the background, the car, propensity, things like that. I couldn't really tell like if that's something you're getting into or envision yourself getting into.
Okay, so there are plenty of use cases, as you just rightly mentioned. And as for now, we've just presented just one aspect of it, which is to do with creating an efficiency for an insurance company, which means primarily there are additional costs for a survey to be done. And obviously there is a fraud exposure there as well. So initially we are looking at this as a starting point. However, even in this particular case, we have done the initial use case that we've done is for only replacing the part that's damaged. But once we have credible data that we push in through our partnerships with the insurance companies, we will actually be able to also do repair relevant tasks as well, which will identify how much percentage of a part is damaged, which will lead to exactly the highlighting of the cost for that segment too.
Got it. Okay. Understand. And you guys are just a platform provider for the insurance company. Is that, so I understand it correctly?
Yes, we are a platform or a solution provider for any of the stakeholders within the insurance industry, including the insurance companies.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael. All right, other questions? Atif, Priya, Pedro. Okay, we are still left with 40 seconds in case there is anything else that you would like to ask. Okay, thank you, Ozone Digital team. Thank you very, very much. All right, one more time. Thank you very much. Okay, Kasra, you're back in the room. I know you're there. I saw you. So we still have to look at your second use case. This time around, perhaps don't share your video. Let's just be careful.
Okay, perfect. Can you guys hear me? Am I
we can
audible
hear
now?
you just fine. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that was a good example of bad infrastructure in Pakistan. Apologies for that. Should I continue?
No worries. But just give a quick second for the judges to finish their scoring. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, I see the thumbs up from Abdul, Pedro, Michael, Priya, are we good? Atif?
Yep.
To go.
Okay. All right, so Atif, your scores are in as well. Okay, wonderful. So are we ready for Kasra again? Okay, so
Yes.
Kasra, all right, perfect. So Kasra, last time when you finished off, there were nearly 2 minutes. ठीक है, आपके पास 2 minutes थे. So I'm just going to start the timer from there. All right, so your time starts now.
Perfect. Thank you. So just to reiterate the first use case that we went through already. In the first use case, we were talking about the sign-up funnel issue that we were facing when onboarding the transporters. And the way we solved that was through using TextRack and extracting the information from the document and pre-filling the sign-up process. And our success metrics was quite visible, and our users were actually satisfied with the feature, with the amount of users we tested. So that being said, we were discussing about the second use case, which is more of a feature that was requested from a long time, that basically highlights the route diversions and also, as well as the long stops and other anomalies during the shipment. This is important, number one, because so that they can control theft in real time. And also sometimes if the route is actually diverted from point A to point C or point D, instead of B, so the billing is also supposed to be updated. So if that is highlighted in real time, the credit cycle can reduce from 30 days to a lesser time. So that is a feature that have been requested, and we are working with AWS SageMaker to build our own models for this use case, and this use case is still under development. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kasra. Okay, so judges will move to your questions then. Okay, yes, any questions?
Yeah, how are you determining what are like you put the route optimization as one thing. I mean, how are you determining that's the next best thing to work on? I think you go from a fairly simple case of just, license extraction to something way more complex for like route optimization. But I'm just curious, what other use cases do you think about and are maybe easier to get to?
So the priority of the use cases we are implementing is based on our user feedback. The first use case that we implemented was more dependent on the problem that we were facing, the 62% churn. So we focused on that first. And the second one, this is a long requested feature from our customer. Right now, they have to hire a guy and in a round shift, and they have to watch the shipments in real time. If AI can replace those people, we can really save cost for them. So it's more about the customer needs than the complexity of the problem.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else with a question? Okay, Pedro.
How do you solve for quality issues with documents, so with the source documents?
Yes. So basically, there are multiple types of national identity document, and same goes for in different provinces, there are different licenses. What we are doing is basically we have trained we have used all variations of the document and set it in the way that most of the type of the documents are supported. But if we are not able to extract the data, we just reduce the field that are not very mandatory and ask the user to fill that form. So there is a fall off where user will have to input. But usually if they are providing a good image, then they won't have to. And also we are just filling the form so they can review and change if there's any changes required.
So okay, so the user is prompted after how long that they need to manually input the data?
So basically, if we look at the MVP, as soon as the user upload the document, all the fields that are extracted from the document gets pre-filled, but the fields that are not available in the document or the extract was not able to extract, that the user will have to input themselves.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, other questions? Priya, Atif, Manan, anything from your end?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Yes, Priya. Okay, all
No, I'm
good.
good. I just wanted to say I'm good.
Okay, awesome. All right, so thank you, Kastra.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
And you kept your cool and everything. So that was fantastic because these things will happen in real life, obviously. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, because we've actually, surprise, right? We've saved 7 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do is request if the judges are done with their scores, if they would like to share some collective feedback for the teams, that would be wonderful. And then we're going to start assigning you to a breakout room so you can deliberate. So if there's any feedback collectively that you guys would like to share, that would be wonderful.
I mean, I would just like to say just congrats to everybody. I mean, I think making it this far is one thing, and then just delivering good type prezos and answering questions is a lot of hard work. So congrats to everybody, and good luck with just actually going out and running your businesses.
I agreed with Michael. Thank you guys for the presentations, good quality presentations, good quality products, great applications of and solutions for using and leveraging ML. I think that there was also kind of a great point being made about not focusing on the process, but rather the solution and the outcomes. And I think that was really important for a lot of the things, a lot of the solutions that were presented. So thank you, everyone.
I'll just add to that. I think, everything that Michael and Pedro said, I like that point, which is the fact that, focus on the process and, on the outcomes. And also the other point that Trucker just made about working backwards from the customer is very intrinsic for AWS to think like that. And it was really nice to see that. I mean, I've totally enjoyed today. I've been quiet because I've also been learning, I guess, because there's so much in here from so many different verticals and such great applications. So thank you for the opportunity to be listening to each one of y'all.
And before we actually let you guys go off into the breakout room to deliberate, we would love to have a group photo with everyone. So keep the video on, Priya. We want to keep seeing you. Okay, and because there are going to be multiple screens actually, because there are quite a bit of participants still, give us a bit of time to take the photo.
We cannot start the camera.
Okay, oops. All right, I think I know what happened. So Ozone Digital team, because you were getting stuck, so I actually switched off your video. There you go. Okay, now we can see you. Okay, all right. So everybody give us your best smiles, right? You guys did phenomenally well, everyone. Okay. Mahnur, are you also taking pictures? Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Give me a fresh smile now. Okay. And some people have still not switched on videos. You know, let's not be shy. It would be awesome to see your faces. Okay, Yasir ko pata chal gaya ki we're doing group photos. He's trying to join in from one of the teams, but okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So is everybody done, Mahnur? You've taken your photos as well? Okay, so Kai, look up, please. And is Cecilia back? I'm not sure. All right, okay, so 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Okay. So judges, we're going to assign you to the breakout room, and the team will join you momentarily. In the meantime, anybody else who would like to say something, please go ahead. This is your chance. The teams also, startups, if you'd like to say something. Or Kai.
Samar, can I just quickly thank you, Epiphany, Kai, Cecilia, AWS team for putting this together. This was just amazing to see all the teams, the work they've put in and the diversity of ideas. And a huge kudos to you for organizing it.
No, thank you very much. We had a fantastic team on our side as well as AWS's side. So it was really phenomenal. To put together a program, the first ever. So Kai, do you want to say something too? Was it, I think everybody met our expectations or exceeded our expectations.
Hi, everyone. I think from my perspective, it has been very interesting because I've been supporting the ecosystem for the past 3 years and have really seen how things have grown. And it's really beyond just the VC funding, right? I mean, the talent, you guys are really great, talented people. And today you really showed it to us. And I mean, all I can say is just keep rocking and we'll be here to support you.
Absolutely. Okay, so people over here, you guys will hear about the decision this week. Earlier, even though we'd said we would make you guys wait till next week, okay? But now we're feeling kinder. Thank you very, very much for staying with us throughout. Everybody who's been watching, thank you very much for the valuable suggestions. I think that's fantastic. And judges, you guys should have received a quick, like a little pop-up which shows up for you to join the breakout room. So please go ahead. Michael, you haven't joined yet, Priya.
Can the startups leave now?
Yes, everybody can leave. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you for taking.
Okay.
So these are the final scores. I'm going to check if everybody has done the stories. for example, on purchase, so this going in price. Even score him so low.